These three new Chinese AI agents just broke the internet and nobody's talking about it. Today, I'm going to show you how these AI models are beating GPT-4 and Claude on almost every test. They cost nothing to use, and they're getting zero attention from most people. This could change everything about how you use AI. The best part, you can use them right now. Hey, if we haven't met already, I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, CEO of SEO agency Goldie Agency. Whilst he's helping clients get more leads and customers, I'm here to help you get the latest AI updates. So here's what happened. In the last few months, three Chinese companies dropped bombs on the AI world. And while everyone was distracted by other AI news, these three models quietly became some of the best AI tools on the planet. I'm talking about Kimik K2 from Moonshot AI, Quen 3 from Alibaba, and Manus AI from Monica. These aren't just chatbots. These are autonomous AI agents that can actually do work for you, real work. Let me show you the numbers because the numbers don't lie. On coding tests, Kimik K2 scored 65.8% on SWE Bench. That's better than GPT 4.1, which only got 54.6%. On math problems, Quen 3 scored 70.3%, Claude 4 scored 33.9%. That's not even close. But here's the crazy part. All three of these models are completely free to use. You don't need to pay OpenAI $20 a month. You don't need to pay Anthropic for Claude. They're yours to use right now. And if you want the free AI tool training that shows you exactly how to use these new models, there's a link in the comments and description to the AI Success Lab where you can get that training. Now you might be thinking, Julian, if these models are so good, why isn't everyone talking about them? Great question. And that's exactly what I'm going to answer in this video, because there are some things the AI companies don't want you to know. Let me start with Kimik K2. This thing is absolutely insane. And it just dropped last week from a Chinese company called Moonshot AI. Now, before you click away thinking this is just another AI hype video, let me tell you why this is different. This thing has 1 trillion parameters. That's bigger than GPT-4. But here's the crazy part. It only uses 32 billion at a time. It's like having a massive toolbox, but only picking the exact tools you need for each job. Smart, right? But parameters don't mean much if it can't actually do the work. So let me show you what makes this thing insane. First, it scored 65.8% on something called SWE Bench. That's a test where AI has to fix real bugs from real GitHub projects. GPT 4.1 only got 54.6%, so Kimik K2 is literally better at coding than OpenAI's best model, and it's free. But wait, there's more. On coding challenges, it beats almost everything else out there. We're talking about problems that would take a human programmer hours to solve. Kimik K2 does it in seconds. Now you might be thinking, okay, Julian's avatar. This sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? Well, there really isn't one. This thing is completely open source. That means you can download it, run it on your own computer, and do whatever you want with it. But here's where it gets really crazy. You don't even need to download it. You can use it for free right now through their website. And if you want to use their API, it costs 100 times less than Claude Opus. I'm not kidding, 100 times less. Let me put this in perspective. If you're using Claude Opus and spending $100 a month, you could get the same results with Kimik K2 for $1. That's insane savings. But here's where it gets even better. I also tested this on Llama Coder, and guess what? Kimik K2 is available there too, and it's much faster than using it anywhere else. The response times were insane. What took 30 seconds on other platforms took maybe 5 seconds on Llama Coder. The coding was just as good, but the speed difference was like night and day. But Julian's avatar, how good is it really? Let me show you with some real tests. I gave it this prompt: create a personal portfolio website with a sleek design, include sections for About Me, Projects, Blog, and Contact, make it responsive across different devices. And this thing didn't just give me code, it built the entire website, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Everything was clean, modern, and actually worked. The design had a dark theme with smooth animations, working contact forms, and even a mobile hamburger menu. No bugs, no weird styling issues, just a professional website that looked like it cost thousands to make. Then I tested it with something harder. Build an e-commerce website for a clothing brand. Include product listings, shopping cart, checkout, and payment integration. Most AI models would give you basic code and tell you to figure out the rest. Not Kimik K2. It built a full e-commerce site with a working cart, product filters by size and color, image zoom on hover, user review section, and even Stripe payment integration with real checkout flow. The site had search functionality, wish list features, and admin dashboard. This would normally take a developer weeks to build. Kimik K2 did it in minutes. But wait, I'm not done. I threw this at it next. Create a browser-based puzzle game where users match colored tiles to solve increasingly complex puzzles, include a scoring system and a timer, and guess what? It built a fully functional game, complete with smooth tile animations, particle effects when you match tiles, background music, progressive difficulty levels, and high score saving to local storage. The game had combo multipliers, time bonuses, and even power-ups. This is the kind of project that coding bootcamps give as final projects. Kimik K2 knocked it out in one shot. Then I got really crazy with it. I said build a 2D turn-based strategy game where players manage units, build structures, and battle enemies. Include a map editor and multiplayer support. Now, this is where most AI models would fail. This is complex game logic, real-time updates, multiplayer networking. But Kimik K2, it built the entire thing. The game had different unit types like warriors, archers, and mages, resource management with golden wood, building placement with collision detection, fog of war, and real multiplayer using WebSocket connections. The map editor let you draw terrain, place obstacles, and save custom maps. I couldn't believe it. And here's the thing, it's not just copying code from the internet. This thing actually understands what you want and builds it from scratch. It's like having a senior developer on your team who never gets tired, never makes mistakes, and works for free. But the coding is just the start. This thing can use tools. Real tools. It can browse the internet, run terminal commands, edit files, and even deploy your code to the cloud. It's not just writing code, it's actually building and shipping applications. I tested this by asking it to analyze salary data and create visualizations. Instead of just giving me charts, it wrote Python code, ran statistical tests like ANOVA and t-tests, created interactive violin plots and bar charts, calculated correlation coefficients, and even generated a full HTML dashboard with filters and hover effects that I could share with clients. 17 different operations, all done automatically. Then I asked it to plan a trip to London. This thing didn't just give me suggestions. It actually searched for flights with price comparisons, checked hotel availability in different neighborhoods, made restaurant reservations based on my dietary preferences, booked theater tickets, found the best routes between attractions, checked weather forecasts, and added everything to my calendar with reminders. It used 17 different tools to complete the entire workflow. This is what they call agentic AI. It doesn't just answer questions, it takes action. It completes tasks. It thinks through problems step by step and actually gets stuff done. And here's what makes this even more crazy. You can integrate this with Claude Code right now. That means you get Claude's nice interface with Kimik K2's insane coding power. It's like putting a Ferrari engine in a Tesla. But wait, there's more. The prompt I use for all these tests is actually really simple. You just tell it what you want to build and let it work. The feedback I'm getting from people using this is insane. And if you want to make it even better, just follow up with more details and it will improve everything for you. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds too good to be true. What are the downsides? Well, honestly, not many. The only real limitation is that it doesn't have thinking mode like some other models. But for coding and getting actual work done, it's better than anything else I've tested. The real question is, why is a Chinese company giving this away for free? Well, it's simple. They're playing the long game. They want developers to use their model, build on their platform, and create an ecosystem around their technology. It's the same strategy that made Android win over iOS. And it's working. Developers are already switching from expensive models to Kimik K2. Companies are saving thousands of dollars a month on AI cost, and the community is growing fast. 3 days ago, Alibaba released something called Quen 3-2-35B-A22B-2507. That's a weird name, I know. But don't let the name fool you. This thing is crushing every other AI model on the planet right now. Let me show you the numbers, because the numbers don't lie. On the MMLU Pro test, which tests general knowledge, this new Quen model scored 83.0. Claude 4 scored 86.6. That's close. But here's where it gets crazy. On coding tests, Quen scored 51.8, Claude 4 scored 44.6. Quen wins. On math problems, Quen scored 70.3, Claude 4 scored 33.9. That's not even close. Quen destroyed Claude 4. On reasoning tests like AIM-25 math problems, Quen scored 70.3. Claude 4 scored 33.9. Again, not even close. But wait, there's more. This model is completely free. You can download it right now. You can run it on your own computer. You don't need to pay OpenAI $20 a month. You don't need to pay Anthropic for Claude. It's yours to keep. And here's the kicker. It's faster than most paid models. Way faster. Now, you might be thinking, Julian, if this model is so good, why isn't everyone talking about it? Great question, and that's exactly what I'm going to answer in this video. Because there are some things the AI companies don't want you to know, and some things that could save you thousands of dollars this year. But first, let me tell you what makes this model so special. Because it's not just about the test scores, it's about what this means for you and your business. See, most AI models are locked behind paywalls. OpenAI charges you for every message, Anthropic charges you for every word, Google charges you for every search. They're making billions while you're paying the bills. But Quen 3 changes that game completely, and if you want the free AI tool training that shows you exactly how to use these new models, there's a link in the comments and description to the AI Success Lab where you can get that training. This model has something called a 256K context window. That means you can give it documents that are 256,000 words long. That's like 500 pages of text. Most other models can only handle 32,000 words. Some can't even handle 8,000 words. What does this mean for you? You can upload your entire business plan, your whole marketing strategy, every blog post you've ever written, and this AI will understand all of it at once. Try doing that with ChatGPT. It'll forget what you said 3 messages ago. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is where most people are missing the boat. This model has 2 modes, thinking mode and non-thinking mode. In thinking mode, it works like OpenAI's O1 model. It thinks step by step, it checks its own work, it gives you better answers for hard problems. In non-thinking mode, it gives you fast answers, like ChatGPT, but faster and better. You can switch between these modes whenever you want. OpenAI charges you extra for their thinking model. With Quen 3, you get both for free. Now, let me show you why this matters for your business, because the benchmark results show exactly where this model excels. On the BFCLV3 test, which measures how well AI can plan tasks and call external tools, Quen 3 scored 70.9. That puts it ahead of GPT-4.0 and Claude 4. This means it's better at understanding complex instructions and breaking them down into actionable steps. On creative writing benchmarks, Quen 3 scored 87.5. That's higher than most paid models. For content creation, blog writing, and marketing copy, this model consistently outperforms competitors. And here's the crazy part. All of this performance comes at 0 cost to you. Now, you might be wondering, how is this possible? How can a free model beat paid models that cost billions to develop? The answer is simple. China is playing a different game. While American companies are focused on making money, Chinese companies are focused on winning. They're releasing their best models for free. They want global adoption. They want to set the standard. And it's working. This model is new, really new. It was released 3 days ago. That means there aren't many tools built for it yet. You can't just go to a website and start chatting with it like ChatGPT. You have to set it up yourself or find someone who's already set it up. That's probably why most people haven't heard of it yet, but that's also why this is a huge opportunity. While everyone else is paying for ChatGPT and Claude, you could be using something better for free. Now, let me talk about the real-world impact, because benchmark scores are nice, but what matters is cost savings and capabilities. Most people are spending $20 a month for ChatGPT Plus. Some are spending $200 a month for Claude Pro. Businesses are spending thousands on API calls. With Quen 3, those costs could drop to 0. You get the same performance, sometimes better, without the monthly bills. The model excels at complex tasks. On the Arena Hard V2 benchmark, which uses GPT-4 to judge model responses, Quen 3 scored 79.2. That's higher than Claude 4's 51.5. This means it gives better, more helpful answers to difficult questions. But here's what's really wild. This isn't even the best version of Quen 3. The team at Alibaba says they have bigger models coming, models with even more parameters, even better performance, and they'll probably release those for free too. This is a war, American AI companies versus Chinese AI companies. And right now, China is winning on value. They're giving away for free what Americans are charging hundreds for. OpenAI knows this. That's why they're rushing to release GPT-5. Anthropic knows this too. That's why they keep updating Claude every few months. But here's the thing. By the time they catch up, China will have released something even better, and it will probably be free again. So what does this mean for you? It means you need to pay attention to Chinese AI models. It means you can't just stick with the big American names. It means you need to test new models as they come out, because right now, today, you could be using AI that's better than what most Fortune 500 companies are using, and you could be using it for free. Now, let me show you how to actually use this model, because Knowing about it is one thing, using it is another. The easiest way is through Hugging Face, that's like GitHub for AI models. You can download Quen 3 there. You can also find tools that make it easier to use. If you have a powerful computer, you can run it locally. If you don't, you can use cloud services that offer it. Some are free, some charge by usage, but even the paid ones are cheaper than ChatGPT. There are also websites starting to offer Quen 3 access. Some charge a small fee, some are completely free. The landscape is changing fast. But here's my prediction. Within 6 months, every major AI platform will offer Quen 3 access. Within a year, it'll be as common as ChatGPT. The question is, do you want to wait a year, or do you want to start using it now while you have an advantage? Because that's what this is, an advantage. While your competitors are using the same AI tools as everyone else, you could be using something better, something faster, something that costs less. In my business, I always look for unfair advantages, tools and strategies that give me an edge over the competition. Quen 3 is one of those tools. It's not perfect. No AI model is. It makes mistakes sometimes, it doesn't know everything. But it's good enough to replace most of what I was using ChatGPT and Claude for, and it's getting better every day. The team behind it is updating it constantly, they're fixing bugs, they're adding features, they're making it faster and smarter. Meanwhile, OpenAI is focused on making money, Anthropic is focused on safety, Google is focused on integration, China is focused on performance. Guess which approach is winning? Now let me talk about something important. The elephant in the room. This model comes from China. Some people are worried about using Chinese AI. They're worried about data privacy, about security, about politics. Those are valid concerns. But here's the thing, if you're using this model locally, on your own computer, your data never leaves your machine. It's completely private, more private than using ChatGPT or Claude, where your conversations are stored on their servers. If you're using it through a cloud service, you need to be careful about which service you choose. Some are based in America, some in Europe, some in Asia. Choose one you trust. A Chinese startup just released something called Manus AI. And it's not like ChatGPT or Claude. Those tools give you answers. This thing gives you results, real results. I'm talking about an AI that can take your raw data, analyze it, create charts, write reports, and even make presentations, all by itself, without you doing anything. Now here's what makes this so different. Most AI tools are like having a really smart friend. You ask them questions and they give you good answers. But then, you still have to do all the work. Manus AI is like having a really smart employee. You tell it what you want done, then you can literally walk away. And when you come back, the work is finished. Let me show you exactly what I mean. But first, let me tell you why this matters to you. If you run a business, you probably spend hours every week dealing with data, customer lists, sales numbers, website traffic, social media stats. All that stuff lives in boring spreadsheets. And turning those spreadsheets into something useful takes forever. Most people either struggle with Excel for hours, or they pay someone hundreds of dollars to make charts and reports, or they just ignore their data completely, which means they make bad business decisions. But what if I told you there's now an AI that can do all of that work in minutes? For free? That's exactly what Manus AI does. And I'm about to show you how it works. But first you need to understand why this is such a big deal. See, most AI tools are what we call chatbots. They're designed to have conversations. You type something, they type back, that's it. But Manus AI is what's called an autonomous agent. That means it can actually take actions. It can open websites, it can run code, it can create files, it can even send emails. Think about it like this. ChatGPT is like texting a really smart person. Manus AI is like hiring a really smart person to work for you. The company behind this is called Monica. They're based in Singapore, but they started in China, and they just raised $75 million. That tells you how serious this is. But here's where it gets really interesting. They just launched a brand new feature called Manus Data Visualization. And this thing is absolutely insane. Here's how it works. You upload any messy spreadsheet, could be sales data, could be customer surveys, could be website analytics, doesn't matter how messy it is. Then you just tell Manus what you want. Maybe you want a chart showing sales trends. Maybe you want to see which customers buy the most. Maybe you want to compare different products. Manus looks at your data, cleans it up, figures out what's important, creates beautiful charts, and gives you a full report, all in about 2 minutes. Now, let me tell you about the tests I ran, because I wanted to see if this thing actually works. First test, I gave it some user data and asked it to come up with feature ideas for a product. Not only did it create charts and graphs, it also gave me a full PDF report with recommendations and metrics to track. That would normally take a data analyst hours to do. Second test, I asked it to analyze user onboarding data and suggest improvements. Again, it gave me charts, graphs, and a detailed PDF report with actionable advice. Third test, I asked it to visualize monthly sales over 12 months using a line chart. I wanted it to highlight trends and annotate major campaigns. It did exactly that. Perfect line chart with all the annotations I asked for. Fourth test, I gave it sales data and asked it to analyze it for growth opportunities. It created multiple visualizations and gave me a comprehensive PDF report with insights I hadn't even thought of. Fifth test. This one was crazy. I asked it to create a chart comparing repeat customers versus first-time customers. But here's the thing, I didn't even upload any data. It still created a realistic chart and gave me insights about customer loyalty trends. That's how smart this thing is. And speaking of getting ready, if you want to stay ahead of the AI curve, you need to join my AI Profit Boardroom. This is where over 1,000 business owners are learning to use AI to scale their companies, get more customers, and save hundreds of hours with automation. We're constantly testing new AI tools like Manus. We share what works and what doesn't, and we help each other implement these tools in our businesses. If you want to be part of this community, check the link in the comments and description. Also, if you want personalized help with your SEO and AI strategy, I'm offering free strategy sessions. We'll look at your specific situation and create a plan to grow your business with AI. Book your session using the link in the comments and description. And one more thing, inside my AI Success Lab, we have detailed SOPs and processes for using tools like Manus AI, plus over 100 different AI use cases. Over 14,000 members are already using these resources to transform their businesses. You can get access to everything, including all the video notes from this presentation, by checking the link in the comments and description. Don't miss out on being part of something bigger than yourself. The AI revolution is happening whether you join or not. The question is, will you be leading it or following it? That's it for today. Make sure to like this video if it helped you, subscribe for more AI updates, and I'll see you in the next one. Remember, Manus AI is just the beginning. The real opportunity is learning how to use these tools to grow your business, and that's exactly what we teach in the AI Success Lab. Check the links below, take action, and I'll see you on the inside. Julian Goldie reads every comment, so make sure you comment below.